get you up to speed on the latest in sports. I'm Sean Yao. Gilas Pilipinas has flown to Estonia to train for the upcoming FIBA World Cup. But only a dozen players were able to go on the trip as the national team deals with injuries to key players. Marty Bautista with the details.
Gilas Pilipinas boarded a flight to Europe at around 9 in the evening last night for their training camp in Estonia. However, only 12 players were able to make it to the camp. These are Japeth Aguilar, Chris Newsom, Junmar Fajardo, Jamie Malonzo, Dwight Ramos, Kiefer Enterdi Ravena, Boy Eram, CJ Perez, and first-timers AJ Edu and Ren Zabanto. Bobby Ray Parks Jr., Jordan Heading, Roger Pugoy, and Calvin Oftana were not able to go on the trip due to their respective injuries. Phil-Am Utah Jazz guard Jordan Clarkson and center Kai Soto were also not included as both Cagers are still in the U.S. Naturalized players Justin Brownlee and Ange Kwame will join the team once they land in Estonia. There, Gilas is scheduled to play tune-up games against Finland and Lithuania's under-21 team. After their European trip, Gilas coach Chot Reyes also plans to field the national team in a pocket tournament in China. Some teams that are part of the World Cup will also be there. Meanwhile, for some players, the training is a huge sacrifice as they will be away from their families. It's a struggle for Barangay Ginebra guard Scotty Thompson, who just became a dad recently.
Emotional talaga kasi may iwan ko yung baby ko at saka yung wife ko. But I know talagang may purpose si God, may plano lahat, no? So kaya nangyari to. But the same time, tinitake namin as motivation, no? Ako, well motivated ako, especially sa baby ko. So gusto ko siya maging proud sa akin pag binalikan niya to sa paglaki niya.
As of now, coaches are still trying to find ways to integrate Clarkson and Soto into the training. JC is in his last year of contract under the Jazz, while Kai is focused on landing a spot in the NBA Summer League.
Jordan and his father Mike still no firm commitment with regards to dates and all of that because of his situation right now with his contract still up in the air, and I think a lot is going to depend on the draft, the NBA draft which happens tomorrow. And again, they're both saying that they want to play, but we know they want to play. But the question is, when can they get here to become a part of the team?
The Gilas team hopes all sacrifices will pay off when they get into the actual World Cup action, which will begin on August 25. The Philippines is in Group A with the Dominican Republic, Angola, and Italy. For News 5, Marty Bautista, We Are One News.
Moving on now to martial arts, where Filipino-American Eddie Abasolo is making waves in one championship. After impressive outings in his first two fights, the man dubbed as Silky Smooth is looking for his biggest win yet. That's against Thai kickboxer Sitichai Sitsongpino. The two will face off today at 1 Friday nights. Abasolo was born in California to immigrant parents. His father is a full-blooded Pinoy, while his mom is of Mexican-Italian descent. Abasolo will have his hands full against his Thai opponent, but he likes his chances against the MMA artist dubbed as the Killer Kid. Meanwhile, the International Olympic Committee, or IOC, has rescinded its recognition of the International Boxing Association as the sport's global governing body. In a vote of 69-1, the IOC rubber-stamped the recommendation to withdraw the IBA's recognition. This is over what the IOC says was the body's failure to complete reforms on governance, finance, and ethical issues. The IBA had called the recommendation truly abhorrent and purely political and tried to block it through an urgent appeal to the Court of Arbitration for Sport. But the court rejected the plea. The IOC had previously suspended the IBA over governance, finance, refereeing, and ethical issues. Boxing is part of the Paris 2024 Olympics, but the qualification bouts and the competition itself are overseen by the IOC. We're taking a timeout. The Game on One News Now will return after this quick break. Stay tuned. You're still watching The Game on One News Now. I'm Sean Yao. It's off-season for the NBA and some teams are using this time to beef up their rosters for the next season. The Boston Celtics acquired center Kristaps Porzingis from the Washington Wizards via a 3-team trade with the Memphis Grizzlies. Boston will also receive 2 first-round picks. The Celts let go of point guard Marcus Smart, who will now play for the Grizzlies. Meanwhile, the Wizards will get Tyus Jones from Memphis, as well as Danilo Gallinari, Mike Muscala, and 1 draft pick. Meanwhile, days after getting traded to DC, 12-time All-Star Chris Paul has been shipped to the Golden State Warriors. The Dubs will give away Jordan Poole, Ryan Rollins, and 2 future picks for the point guard. And the San Antonio Spurs have made it official. French star Victor Wembanyama is its first overall pick this year's NBA draft. Wemby, who is dubbed as the greatest NBA prospect since LeBron James, is entering the NBA with enormous expectations to become basketball's newest sensation. The 19-year-old selection has been a foregone conclusion for months, ever since he declared his intent to join the draft. Wembanyama brings in a package of skills that cover the shooting and ball handling ability of a guard, paired with the size of a center. At 7'4", Wemby is the third first overall pick by the Spurs, after likewise generational talents David Robinson and Tim Duncan. The Spurs has struggled since the departure of the famed Big Three: Tim Duncan, Manu Ginobili, and Tony Parker, and later on Kawhi Leonard. After missing the playoffs only once from 1990 to 2019, the Spurs have not been in the postseason in the last 4 years. Get your fill of the latest in sports at onesports.ph. Meantime, the Newsday continues later at 4:30 p.m. I'll see you then. I'm Sean Yao. We are One News.